Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the SAP interactive classes track. So today we are going to solve SAT math questions together again. So let's take a look at the first question. It's a really simple question. K is given. X minus 1 over 3 is equal to 3. Then let me write here. This is going to be 3, right? So then X minus 1 will be equal to 3 times 3, which is 9. So x is equal to 10. First question is 10. Second question, for I is equal to square root of -1, what is the sum of the given expression? As we learned before, when we work with imaginary numbers, we simplify expressions as the algebraic expression. So here, 7 minus 8 will be -1, and 3i plus 9i will be 12i. So the answer is A. Question. On Saturday afternoon, Armand sent M text messages each hour for 5 hours, and Ron sent E text messages each hour for 4 hours. Which of the following represents the total number of messages sent by both guys on Saturday afternoon? It's so simple. 5 hours M messages, 5M and plus 4P will be the correct answer. Question number 4. Kathy is a repair technician for a phone company. Each week, she receives a batch of phones that need repairs. The number of phones that she has left to fix at the end of each day can be estimated with the equation given. What is the meaning of the value 108 in the equation? So 108 is a constant number. It can be an initial amount. It's not an increase or decrease or change. Let's look at the options. A. Katie will complete the repairs within 108 days. It depends on number of days, number of phones she will receive, so it's not the answer. B. Katie starts each week with 108 phones to fix. So this looks like the answer. In C and D, we have per hour, per day. It's about rate, which cannot be a rate. It's a constant number. So the answer is D here. Number 5. Which of the following is equivalent to the given expression? So we will work with like terms here. Here I have x squared y, and then minus. This is important. It's going to be plus, so there should be 2x squared y. In C or D, we have these answers. So one of them will be correct. And let's look at negative 3y squared here, and this negative sign will change the sign of the whole expression inside of this bracket. So it's going to be plus 3y squared, then it's going to be cancelled, right? It's going to be 0. So there shouldn't be a y squared term. Answer is C. Question number 6. The pediatrician uses the model above to estimate the height of a boy in terms of the boy's age in the ages of 2 and 5. Based on the model, what is the estimated increase in inches of a boy's height each year? When we talk about increase, it is the slope, right? This is a linear equation, and increase is about slope. Answer is just 3. So simple. Question number 7 looks really complicated question, but it is the simplest one. Formula above gives the monthly payment and needed to pay off a loan of $P at R% and annual interest over n months. Even these are, not relevant. Which of the following gives P in terms of M? So all I need to do is isolate P here. So when you look at this, you have a long numerator here, long numerator and denominator, times P. So I need to send this to the other side. So instead of these long, terms here, I will give names to them. Let's say this is gonna be A and this is B, right? So if this is B, when I send B to the other side, it's gonna be multiplication. So it's gonna be like here, M times B. And other one will be like division. So I am looking for an expression, B times M over A. What is B? This expression here, right? When you look at the options, where that expression as a numerator. So in A, it is not, right? So B, look at B here. When you look at B, you'll see here is the term is like B here I have, which is in numerator. So this is going to be correct answer. Similarly, you can check A here, right? This is also here. This is like B, and this is like A. Instead of working with all these terms, I just simplified expressions like just A over B, and I solve. So number 8. A over B is equal to 2. What is the value of 4B over A? B over A is like the inverse of A over B, like flipped, right? So it's gonna be what? It's gonna be 1 over 2. So 4 times 1 is 4 over 2 is 2. Answer is C. Number 9. What is the solution of this system? Solution of the system of equation. When you look at the options, there are, x values are unique here. X values are unique. If I find x, I don't need to find y. It's a multiple choice test, right? So I need to find x to identify the answer, lead me to the answer. So let's multiply second one by 3 here. Let's multiply second one by 3. So first one will be the same. 3x plus 4y is equal to negative 23. And when you multiply by 3, I didn't want to eliminate x, right? We have to eliminate, don't have to, but we prefer to eliminate. Right? So then let's multiply by negative 2. Eliminate y. So here will be negative 4y and plus 4x is equal to, when you multiply by negative times negative is positive, so it is 38. 38. So, and we add them up, what is left? 4y is simplified and 7x is left. 7x is left is equal to 15. Or 15, right? But this is not 4x, sorry, this is x. And then this is going to be 5x. And the answer will be x is equal to 3. So let me check. I think I made a mistake again. -2, +2x, negative times negative is positive, 38. Oh, no, we don't have a mistake. It's correct. X is 3, so answer will be D. Don't need to check why, because x values are unique in the options. Only 3 when x is equal to 3. Option B is the correct answer. Number 10. For the function g defined above, a is a constant and g of 4 is given a. What is the value of g of -4? So this is really simple, interesting question. It's a even function. This function is an even function. What is the meaning of even function? G of x is equal to g of -x. Because of this x square here, when you substitute -x for x, it's going to be again positive x squared. This is its square. So g of 4 and g of -4 will have the same result. Which is 8. Number 11. In the equations above, B and C represented price per pound in dollars of beef and chicken respectively X weeks after July 1 during last summer. What was the price per pound of beef when it was equal to the price per pound of chicken? So we need to equalize these equations to solve and find the price of chicken or beef because it's going to be equal. So let's write P is equal to C, and here will be 2.35 plus 0.25 plus 0.40 x. So then let's send numbers to right hand side or left hand side, doesn't matter, and the variables to the other side. So here will be 2.35 minus 1.75 is equal to 0.40x minus 0.25x. So in the next step, when we subtract, it's gonna be what? It's gonna be 0.6, right? 0.6 or 60, you can write. And here, what is left? 0.15x. Then to find x is equal to, when we divide 0.6 by 0.15, it is gonna be 4. But 4 is not the answer because question is, what is the price of chicken, right? So let's use this equation again to find the price of the chicken. Here, let's write C is equal to 1.75 plus 0.40 times 4, right? Times 4. Let me write star, and it's times. So then it will be C is equal to 1.75 plus is 1.6, right? 1.6, and C is equal to then 3.35, which is D. Question 12. A line in the xy plane passes through the origin and has a slope of 1/7. Which of the following points lies on the line? We'll use the slope formula here. If you remember the last time, when a line passing through the origin, so y over x will give us the slope. So we can write the formula. Since it is passing through the origin, be careful, not for all possible lines, just it's a special case. Let me highlight. This is here. So you can write the slope as m is equal to y over x. Y over x. So here, then it is 1 over 7 means which of the given options, when we divide y value by x, it will give us 1 over 7. Here 7 over 0, 7 over 1, 7 over 7, 2 over 14, right? 2 over 14 will be 1 over 7. This is the correct ratio. Number 13, if x is bigger than 3, which of the following is equivalent to the given? So let me take another presentation here to solve this question. So here first, we need to equalize denominators, right? So when we equalize, we multiply the first one by x plus 3 and the second one by x plus 2. So we obtain this. This is the common denominator, and this is denominator, this is numerator. So here, when we organize, simplify this 2x, 1 over 2x plus 5 over x squared plus 5x plus 6. And it will be flipped because of 1 over the fraction. So the correct answer will be D here. The correct answer is B. Let's look again. We equalize denominators, and we reorganize, and we flip because of 1 over fraction will be flipped. So answer is D. Question 14. If 3x minus y is equal to 12, what is the value of 8 to the power x over 2 to the power y? Interesting question. So here, 8 can be written as power 3, right? 2 to the power 3. And since we have x as power, we will multiply. So 8 to the power x can be written as 2 to the power 3x. And we have over 2 to the power y. So since the base of fractions, exponentials, are equal, when we divide with the same base, we subtract, right? So the result will be, let's write here, equal to, again, 2 to the power dx, and since it is division, we said to the minus y. Dx minus y will be the result. So since 3x minus y is given 12, so this is going to be equal to 2 to the power, of course, 12. Answer is A. Question 15. Ax plus 2 times bx plus 7 is given 15x squared plus cx plus 14 for all values of x, and a plus b is equal to 8. What are the two possible values for c? So here, this quadratic equation is already factorized. These are the factors given, and we will work on it to find c. So here, first let's write in form how we factorize. This is like 2 times 7. Because of here we have 2 and 7, right? It's already written in factors. How we write in factors? We first write multiples of 14 and 15 here, and we cross multiply to check, and we write the ones in the same row as factors. So it must be a and 2 here, and b and 7 here. Then what? we have two equations we form here. A times B is the factors of 15, must be 15, right? Times 15. And A plus B is given as 8. A plus B is given as 8. And what is C? Remember how we check this? You know, 7A, we cross multiply and then add to check if it gives the middle one. 7A plus 2B must equal to C. So here we have some possibilities we will consider. So since A times B is 15, A can be 3 and B can be 5 because sum of them is 8. It fits this system of equation, let's say here. A is 3, B is 5. So if A is 3 and B is 5, when we substitute C will be 31. Actually here the solution is over because only 31 is the option D. But when we solve for other possibility, A can be 5, B can be 3. And flip, so it's going to be 41. Answer is D. Question 16 and to 20, as you know, it is pre-response questions. So these are the rules you already know how to code your answers. Here I can tell you there is no negatives, right? So which means the pre-response question never will be negative result. If your result is negative, check again. Question 16 is also really simple question. T is bigger than 0. This is important, which means there is no negative possible solution to this equation. So, and t squared minus 4 is 0. When you send to the other side, t squared will be 4. So t can be only possible answer is 2. Not negative 2 because t is bigger than 0. So if you write your answer is 2, it's correct. That's all. In seconds, you can solve this question. Question 17. A summer camp counselor wants to find the length x in feet across a lake as presented in this sketch above or on the left. The length represented by A, B, E, B, B, D, and C D on the sketch were determined to be 1,800 AB right here and 1,400 EB and 700 is BD and finally 800 is CD. Question is find x. First, here we have two angles already given, right? We have two angles common. This one and this one is already same. And look at the cross opposite angles here. They're also the same. You'll use the similarity rules to solve the question. So to find x, let's write x over 800 because opposite of this angle in the big triangle is x, the small one is 800 is equal to now look at the other comments here. So if two angles are same, the third one will be also the same. So we can say these angles here, use two arrows for this angle, will be the same also. The opposite of this angle in the big one is 14 because we start with the big one to write the ratios. 1,400 and over In the small one, it is 700. The small one is 700. As you see, 1400 divided by 700 will be 2. So x will be equal to 800 times 2. 1600 is the correct answer. You have done. Question 18. According to the system of equations above, what is the value of x? What is the value of x? So we need to isolate x, eliminate y. Let's multiply the first one by negative 2. Multiply first one by negative 2. So the equation will be negative 2x, negative 2y is equal to positive 18, and x plus 2y is given negative 25. And when we add them up, y will be eliminated. So the question is x. Negative x is equal to negative 7. Then x will be equal to 7. X will be equal to 7. In a right triangle, one angle measures x degree where sine of x is 4/5. What is the value of cosine 90 degree minus x? So I think this year you will learn these rules. Sine of x is equal to cosine of 90 minus x. This is a rule. So let me write here. Sine of x is equal to cosine of, this is a rule, always, 90 minus x. So since it is the question, answer is in the question, right? So answer is 4/5, or you can divide by 0.8. It's also possible answer. Question 20. If a is 5 times root 2 and 2a is equal to root of 2 root x, what is the value of x? So instead of, you can substitute, right? I have here this. You can substitute. Let me use equations here. 2 times, right now, times 5 root 2 is equal to square root of square root of 2x. It comes. So then I can take square of both sides, right? And you take the square of both sides. Right here on the other side, it, 10 times 10, 200. This side will be 2x. So it is now clear to see the answer is 100. X is equal to 100. X is equal to 100. And take the square of both sides. This is 10 squared times 2. This is 100 times 2 is 200. And square of root x here. then x is equal to 1 degree. Okay, question, so let me write here, answer is x is equal to g. I think section 3 is over, and we'll start now section 4. Continue with section 4 perspective. John runs at different speeds as part of his training program. The graph shows his target heart rate at different times during his workout. On which interval is the target heart rate strictly increasing and strictly decreasing? Between 0 and 30 minutes. Yes, between 0 to 10, there's an increase, and it's constant. That is not the answer. Between 40 and 60. So, this, let me highlight this part. Strictly increasing, then strictly decreasing. This B looks like the answer, because here, first strictly increase, and strictly decrease. Let's check the others also. Between 50 to 65 minutes. 50 to 65, it first decrease, then increase, so it is not. 70 to 90, from 70 to 90, it starts like constant and increase a bit, and then again constant. So it is not. Only B is possible. Best answer, let's say. Second question. If y is equal to kx, where k is a constant and y is equal to 24, when x is 6, what's the value of y when x is 5? So here y over x will be a constant number, like proportions. So y over x, 24 over 6 must be equal to y over 5. You'll find y here, and when you send y to 5 to other side, so 24 over 6 is 4, right? And y will be equal to 4 times 5, 20. Yes, question number 3, let's continue. In the figure above, lines L and M are parallel and lines S and T are parallel. If the measure of one is 35, measure of the angle 1 is 35, and what is the measure of angle 2? This is the question. So by the parallelity rules, this angle 35 will be equal to this one, also this one, right? They're all equal. And sum of, and this angle must be 180. What is left here? 145 degree must be angle 2. By the parallel rules, the angle 1 is 35. Here is like alternate angles, right? 35, 35. And then this is also 35. And sum of these two must be 100 because of the straight angle. It's 180. So what is left for angle 2? 145 degree. Question 4. If 16 plus 4x is 10 more than 14, what is the value of 8x? So that's right. 16 plus 4x is 10 more than 14. This is probably right in algebra, right? No, 5 is 10 more than 14. So x will be equal to 24 minus 16 will be 8. But the person is 8x, so it's fine, right? 16. Answer is C. Number 5. Which of the following graphs best shows a strong negative association between entities? So, if we have a strong association, it's a statistic question. We'll learn end of the year, maybe. That's simple. Strong association or strong negative association. So, it means the points must be really close to a line, and if it is negative, it must decrease. When you look at and see here, points are getting really close to this line, it is decreasing. Answer is C. A and B is not gonna be never will be. C is a strong association, but positive. Number 6. Hospital stores one type of medicine in 2 decagram in units. Based on the information given in the box above, how many 1 milligram doses are there in 1 decagram contained? In other words, we have to put decagram, decagram. So, right, decagram equal to 1 milligrams, 20, right? Because 1 decagram is 10, so 2 decagram is 20 grams. Is equal to 1 gram is 1000, so multiply by 1000 is answer is C. Number 7. Number of rooftops with solar panel installation in 5 cities is shown that if the total number of installations is 27,500, what is an appropriate label for the vertical axis graph? When you look at the graph and the numbers given, first one is 9, is 5 or 14, is 6, 20, here is 24, like 3.5, so 27.5. Total amount in the graph 27.5. So make it 27,500. Have to multiply with by 1000. So answer is the number of installations in thousands. Each number here is like 9 represents 9,000, 5,000. So total will be 27,500. 8. What value of n is absolute value of n minus 1 plus 1 equal to 0? So as I highlight, absolute value, result of absolute, output of absolute value, always positive. A positive number plus 1 will never be equal to 0. Answer will be, there is no such value of n to make this expression equal to 0. Question number 9 and 10 refers to the information. Here, the speed of a sound wave in an air depends on the air temperature. The table shows the relationship between A, the speed of the sound wave, second, and T, the air temperature. So let's look at the questions. So the following expresses the air temperature in terms of the speed of the sound wave. So we have to isolate T here. That's right. A is equal to 1052 plus 1. Let's first send to the other side. Be A minus 1052, which will be equal to 1.08. This is a simple question. That's then you will divide it by 1.8, right? So, and A minus 1000 by 1.08 equal to T. Answer is A, right? Is equal to 1 minus 1052 over 1.8. So there's this one for the next question. At which of the following air temperatures the speed of sound wave closest to 1000? So when we use the formula, we can use the previous questions like this one as a formula because it's about time here, right? Temperature here. So let's write this form of the formula is equal to A minus 1050 over 1.8. The related questions is equal to 1 A minus, right? A bracket here, A minus 1052 divided by 1.08. So let's substitute A is given 1000 here. So A is 1000 minus 1052 and divided by 1. The answer will be minus 2 divided by 1.08, and the result will be closest to 48 something. 8 negative 48. Seven. Which of the following numbers is not a solution of the inequality x minus 5 bigger than or equal to 4x? So we have 3x minus 5, right, like this, bigger than or equal to 4x. Like x on one side. When you send negative 3 to the other side, it's going to be positive. Minus 2 bigger than or equal to x. Or and the other side, x is less than or equal to negative 2. So here it is not a solution, right? Not a solution. So you have to look at the value. X is like bigger than negative. Here can be less than or equal. And you look at the options B, C, and D. It is bigger than or equal, smaller or equal, but A is bigger than negative. Question 12. Based on the histogram level, the following which is closest to the average number of seeds per apple. So here, first one, uh, the apples has 3 seeds, so it's gonna be 6, 6, maybe 20, 6, multiplied by and 0. So how many apples we have? This is the number of seeds. The total will be how many seeds? 6, 46, 73, right? 73. And divided by per apple. How many apples we have? We have plus 4, 6, plus 1, 7, plus 2, 9, plus 3, 9, 7, 5, close to the 6. Question 13. Yes. Grade students responded to a survey that asked which math course they are currently enrolled in. Survey data were broken down as shown in the table above. Each of the following categories account for approximately 19% of all the survey respondents. 19% of all the survey. So there are how many total? 310. So let's find 19%, 310. We have to multiply, we start again, by 19% by 0.19, right? Like 10 times is 58.9. 8.9. This number is closest to the here is right. Closest to 9 here is males, yes, taking geometry, yes, males taking geometry. That'll be the answer. 57 looks like close, but it's not really close to 59, right? Not 57. So we can say the 19% of the survey, like males taking geometry. Question 14. table above lists the length, the nearest inches of a random sample of 21 grown health fish. Outlier measurement of 24 inches error of the mean, median, and range of the values will change the most 24-inch measurement is not common data. So let's take each one. Mean is the average, median is the middle term, right? Range is the interval difference. And the last one opinion. So let's first write median. Because middle term there are 21 numbers here. There will be a unique odd number. There will be a unique middle term, which is the 11th number, right? 10 on this side and on the other side, and the 11th one. So here is 7, 10, 8, 9, 10, 11. So it is 12. Now 12, let me use circles for let me write here then. It was 12. Now it will be what? When we remove 24, there will be 20 numbers. So how do you find if the number of data set as given number? We find the term, then find their average. So if there are 20, one of them is removed. There are 20 numbers now. So the middle ones will be 10 and 11. So 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. 4, 12, it will not change, right? 4, 12, average is also 12, so it will not change. Look at the range. Range was first 4 minus 8. Now what? Now it is 16 minus. It changed, right? How change? How change here? Right? This 16 to 8. It change a lot. Question is, it change more, right? So it looks like the answer is range. I don't think the mean will change that much, but I have to check that one also. So how do you find the mean? We add all these numbers, then divide by first 21, then subtract 24. We need to add these numbers first. Some of these numbers, check 8 plus 3 times 9 plus 10 plus how many? 4 times 12 plus 3 times 14 times 15 and 116, 124. Total is 262. So first mean was 260 divided by 21, and it will be, when we subtract 24, then 108 divided by 20. See the changes now. So it is divided by first 21. The average is like 12.5. It is like 12.5. And what? 238 divided by 20 is 11.9. It's like almost 12. 11.9, almost 12. So when you look at the change here, biggest change in the range, it is like 8. The difference is 8. In the mean, the difference is like only 0.6. Median didn't change, and range is 8. So the biggest most, the 10 is the most, is range. Question 15 and 16 refers to the following information. Graph above displays the total cost in hours of renting each hour. Let's look at the questions. What does the C-intercept represent in the graph? C-intercept, this point here, right? What does it represent? So, it's not a change. It's not about rate. It's not about increase or decrease. It's a constant at the beginning. So, you can easily see that this is the initial amount, initial cost, right? You don't even need to check the others. The answer is A, the initial cost of renting the boat. Let's read the others. The total number of boats rented. There is no information about total number of boats here, about cost and time. Total number of hours, no, it's not hours because hours is 0, it's at the beginning. The increase, no, it's not about increase or decrease, it's a constant initial value. There is no change here, it's just a point at the beginning. So the answer is A. 16. Which of the following represents the relationship between H and C? Between H and C. So here, we can use different formulas here. Like we can take 2 points, and as we know the formula, if we have 2 points, how to write the equation, right? But I will use slope. Since this is we have a c-intercept, or if it's xy plane like y-intercept, I will use the slope-intercept form. So first of all, there must be, this is 5 here, right? This is 5. 5 here. This beginning point. 5 here. So, there must be a plus 5 in the formula. So, at first we can say answer B or C. Now it's about slope. What is the slope here? What was the slope? The changes on y and x, right? Or we can say vertical steps over horizontal steps. Here was 0, and how many steps? And horizontal, but be careful, don't count it. First, you look at the numbers. So what is this length here? Let me show you. This length is from like 5 to 8. How many steps we have? Horizontal, vertical steps, 3 steps, right? From 5 to 8. These steps over vertical steps. How many vertical steps do we have? It looks like you may thought it is 4 because of the squares on the graph. It's not 4. This number is 1. So be careful. It's a common mistake. So here we have 1. So answer is 3, and you see. So slope is 3, and the y-intercept is 5. And we can show this one is like here, right? It's 5 and it's slope here. Good. Answer is C. Now we find the slope, vertical steps over horizontal steps on the graph. So here we have 3 steps up, then 1 step to the right. Why it is 1? Because this point is 1, not 4. Like, why do we don't count the numbers? 17. The graph of the function f is shown in the xy plane above. What value of x is the value of f of x at minimum? So f of x is the result, right? Where it is has the minimum result at what value of x? So let me show you this point, right? This point y will have the minimum value. What is x here? It is 1 is negative, right? This negative. For simplification, f of x, its minimum value at this point is the result output y value. So at what value of x is negative 3 here? Question 18. XY plane 0 is a solution to the system of inequality relationships A and B must be. When we substitute 0 and 0, this system of inequality, what we will obtain? In the first one, 0 is less than A, or in the other, 0 or A is bigger than 0. In the first one, if it's up. And in the second one, B is less than 0, right? B is less than 0. And, get these results when you substitute 0 and 0 in the system 2. So what we can say? A is bigger than B. B is bigger than A. Absolute value of A is bigger than absolute value of B. A is negative. So which one we will select? Here, actually, it is really easy to see when you write this result here. When you write this result here, see, yes, A must be bigger. So A is bigger than 0, B is bigger, less than 0. B is negative, A is a positive number. So A must be bigger than B, always. You don't even need to check the others. And say this is the answer. The food truck sells salads for $6.5 each and drinks for $4 each. Truck's revenue from selling a total of $209 and drinks in one day was $836.50. This salads sold at. So let's give the names, right? Let's say S plus P equals to 29. It's gonna be and 6.5S plus 2P is 836.5. We need to find find what? Total balance. How many columns? We have to find that. So here, solve this. Let's multiply first one by negative. Eliminate what? Eliminate t. So the first one will be negative 2 as negative equal to negative 280. And the second one will stay in. And when we add them up, we have these are simplified. How many as left? 4.5, right? 4.5 as equal to, let me subtract, this is going to be 418.5. Yes. So we have to divide these numbers, right? Start up. 5, 5, 5, and 93. Question 20. Alma bought a laptop computer at a store that gave a 20% discount off the price. The total amount she paid if she was wrong. Sales tax discount. So the following represents the original price and both. So here we have let's say this is the initial amount, right? A is the initial amount. So first we have to multiply by 1.08, which is the tax increase, right? When we increase by 0.8%, we multiply by 1.08. And we have to make a discount of 20%. So take 20% discount, we subtract 20 from 100, multiply by 2.8, it's going to be the 20% discount result. But this is what happened to the initial amount, right? It was 5. But the question is, what is the initial amount? So when we send T go to the other side, it's going to be division. So initial amount 3 over 0.8 times 1.8, which answer is T. Answer is T. So initial amount, first, you can apply first, discount, then the tax, doesn't matter. Because of the multiplication, you can change the, right? So here, he multiplied by 1.08 to tax. Price will increase, right? Tax added to increase by 8%, we multiply by 1. Then to make this count for 20%, we subtract 100. So 0.80, we have to multiply to find the price. Question is the initial amount when you think about this, which is C. Question 21. The data in the table above were produced by a sleep researcher studying the number of dreams people recall when asked to record their dreams for 1 week. Group X consisted of 100 people who observed early bedtimes, and Group Y consisted of 100 people who observed later bedtimes. The person is chosen at random. So this is important. The person is chosen at random. We talked about this before. So when you choose, and this is the important, at least one dream. This person must be selected from to recall at least one dream. So non-dreamers not gonna be counted. What is the probability that the person belonging to Y group Y? So when you look at the table, total number of people at least recalled at least one dream is here, which is gonna be 164. Actually, when you look at the options, only C as the denominator 164, you can directly say answer is C. But let me show you why group Y is 79, because at least one person, one dream recalled person here, total will be 79. So answer is 79 over 164. Questions 22 and 23 refer to the following information. What is this information? The table above lists the annual budget in thousands of dollars for each of 6 different state programs in Kansas from 2007 to 2010. Which of the following best approximates the average rate of change in the annual budget for agriculture natural resources in Kansas from 2008 to 2010? So when they ask the rate of change, so average rate of change is important. Let's find out what is the change. This is in thousands of dollars, right? So each one must be multiplied by 1,000. So here, in 2010, let me highlight. We are talking about agriculture natural resources. And from 2008 and 2010. So in 2010 was 488. Let me use comma, separate 106. This is what? This is in thousands, so it will be like this. Minus in 2008, this 358, 708 thousands again. Then I have to divide this by 2 to find the average. Divided by 2. So it is equal to approximately, let's say, gonna be $65 million. going to be $65 million average. 23. Of the following, which program's ratio of its 2007 budget to its 2010 budget is closest to the human resources program's ratio? Human resources, HR, right? In 2007 and 2010. I will not multiply by 1000 because of division will be simplified. So let me find the ratio for human resources first. Let me write here HR is gonna be 5,921,379 divided by 4,051,050. Let's divide it by calculator, right? We are free to use the instruction. And we divide by 4,051,050. It is like 1.46 approximately. That's right, 1.46. 1.46. Now you need to check which program has the same ratio in 2010 to actually here it says the ratio is 2007 to 2010, so we divide this number by the other one, but the result will not change. But let's do it this way, no problem. The idea will not change because of the fractions. Even if you flip the fraction, then you'll find the same ratio for others. It's not a big problem. The test, we do it this way, but let's fix it, make it other way. So it is like 0.68, right? 0.68 plus 67. So here, now we have to check which one in 2007 to 2010 ratio has the same one. To have extra time, I will directly give the answer here. So look at this one, education here. Let's find the ratio here. Check if I'm right or not. So let's try education is in 2007 is 2,164,607 divided by 3,008,036 will give us what? And use calculator. Okay, divided by 3,008,036. It is like 0.72. Of course, you may think, what about others? When you check the others, you will see this is the closest answer here. So answer will be B. But you can check for each one. You can find the ratio by calculator in 2007 and 2010 numbers. When you find the ratios, education will be the closest one in this table. Question 24. Which of the following is an equation of a circle in the xy plane with center 0 and 4 and a radius with endpoint? In this form, in the options given, it's easy to identify which one has the center 0 and 4. Because of the formulas of circle, we know if this is -4, that means y value is 4, and here is 0, nothing we have in addition or sub, so it is 0. So it can be A or C here. First I can eliminate two options. So A or C, which one? So since endpoint of the radius on the circle, so when we substitute this point in one of the equation must fit. So I will check first A, then if necessary I will check C. So when you substitute here, x is 4/3, right? So we have 4/3, and it is gonna be a square, right? Square, and y is 5. 5 minus 4 square. Here, of course, we have plus sign, right? Right. Plus. So if this give square of it, if this give us result 25/9, so then we are right. No problem. So let's check this out. So it's gonna be here 16/9 plus 1. So 16 over plus 1 can be written as 16/9 plus 9/9, right? So 16 plus 9 will be 25/9, which is correct. As you see, it fits with the answer here. So this is gonna be correct one. Question 25. The equation above expresses the approximate height meters of a ball each second after it is launched vertically upward from the ground with an initial velocity of 25 meters per second. After approximately how many seconds will the ball hit the ground? So to hit the ground, that means the h must be 0. So we have to solve this when this equation, the quadratic equation, is equal to 0. So to solve this, we can factor out t. So it will be in this form: t times, here is left, minus 44.90 plus 25 is equal to 0. So here we can easily say t is equal to 0, but cannot be, because t is equal to 0 means the movement didn't start. So then the other option will be our answer. Negative 4.90 plus 25 is 0. So negative 4.90 is equal to negative 25. So it will be negative 25 divided by negative 4.9, which will be 5, which will be close to 5. Of course, not exactly 5, but close to 5. Something. So answer is B. 26. Katerina is a botanist studying the production of pears by two types of pear trees. She noticed that type A trees produce 20% more pears than type B trees. So, based on Katerina's observation, If the type A trees produce 144 pears, how many pears? So to find A, we multiply B by 1 point, this 20% more, 1.2 for 20. So then to find B, I have to divide A by 1.20. A is given 144 divided by 1.2 give me the B, which is going to be 120. Question 27. The square field measures 10 meters by 10 meters. 10 students each mark off a randomly selected region of the field. Each region is square and has a side of length of 1 meter, and no two regions overlap. The students count the earthworms contained in the soil at depth of 5 centimeters beneath the ground surface in each region. The results are shown in the table below. Which of the following is a reasonable approximation of the number of earthworms to a depth of 5 centimeters beneath ground surface in the entire field? So here, first we need to consider total area 10 to 10, which is 100 meters squares. So this is important first, 100 meters squares we have here. So that means and each sample here is 1 to 1, is represents 1 meter square area. So if I multiply by 100 to find the smallest possible value is 107 times 100, which is going to be 10,700, and the highest one, the range we are talking about here, 166 times 100. So the value must be between these two. So then when you look at the options, only C is between 10,700 and 16,600. So answer is C. Question 28. If the system of inequalities graphed in the XY plane above, which quadrant contains no solutions to the system? So we can simply graph with the intercepts here, right? Let's first one, this equation, equality. When x is 0, y is gonna be 1, and let me write here. Let me write here. For x is equal to 0, then y will be equal to 1. And then similarly, when y is equal to 0, I will find now, and y is equal to 0, x will be what? X will be equal to minus 1 over 2. And let's try to roughly graph this one. When x is 0, y is 1. Y is 1, let's say it's here. And the x is negative 1 over 2. So this first one will be something like this one. Here is y, value is 1, x is negative 1 over 2. Right? Yes, this is the first one, let's say. And for the second one, again, let's use the same idea. For x is equal to 0, and y will be equal to negative 1. And for y is equal to 0. X will be when you send 1 to the other side as positive times 2 is 2. So we need -1 and y is -1, x is 2. Okay, let me draw y is -1, x is 2. Can be something like this one. So what is the solution? The common area, right? The common area. The common area of both inequality here is 2. So the common area will be like this area here. Okay? It will be, cannot be, after the intersection part, all this area is the solution. When you look at the solution, there are in the first, second, and the third quadrant some, common area, but in the fourth quadrant, there is no common. So answer is C. 29. For a polynomial p of x, the value of p of 3 is -2. Which of the following must be true about p of x? X minus 5 is a factor of p of x. We have no idea. X minus 2 is a factor of p of x. Also, don't have any idea. No, this is like p of 3 is -2, meaning x plus 2 is also another factor, but since x is 3 here, that means we have something like this. When we divide, by x minus 3, it must be result. When we substitute 3 for x, it gives us, 2, right? The result is 2. Let's say, not the substitution, not x minus 3 maybe is equal to 2, but when we have divide x minus 3, p of x by x minus 3, the result is 2. The answer is D. Right. Question 30. Which of the following is an equivalent form of the equation of the graph shown in the xy plane above, from which the coordinates of vertex A can be identified as constants in the equation? So here, this is important to highlight. So I want to share with you, this here is an information, and any quadratic function can be written in the form like q of x a times x minus h squared plus k, where a, h, and k are constants, and h and k is the vertex of the parabola when q is graphed in the coordinate plane. We can find this form to completing the square of the given quadratic function. So when you look at this point here, this point looks like this one end -16, right? So when you look at the answers, as you see in D, you'll find this form. It will be all the constants here to identify vertex, right? -1 and 16. Questions 31 to 38. You also know why these instructions, you already know. Question 31. White can husk at least 12,000 ears of corn per hour and at most 18,000 ears of corn per hour. Based on this information, what is a possible amount of time in hours that it could take white to husk 72,000? So here, if you divide 72 by, uh, 12 first, which will be 6, right? So 6 hours at least, and at most, when you divide by 18, it's gonna be 4. So for question 31, you can give your answer between 4 and 6. Any number between 4 and 6 you can write, or write this as 4 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 6. 32. The posted weight limit for a covered wooden bridge in Pennsylvania is 6,000 pounds. A delivery truck that is carrying X identical boxes, each weighing 14 pounds, will pass over the bridge. If the combined weight of the empty delivery truck and its driver is 4,500 pounds, what is the maximum possible value? Let's highlight maximum possible value for X that will keep the combined weight of the truck, driver, and boxes below the bridge posted. So below the bridge also is important. Let me here highlight. So we will write is like first we have 4,500, then 14 times X boxes must be less than 6,000. So then here when you send to the other side, less than 1,500, and X will be less than so question is maximum, right? When we divide 1,500 by 14, it's like 107.14. 107.14. So since X the number of boxes, it must be an integer. So maximum possible number of boxes is 107. This is the answer. (33) According to the line graph above, the number of portable media players sold in 2008 is what fraction of the number sold in 2011? When you look at 2008 first, this is like 100, right? So when you have in 2011, it is 160. So you have to divide, right? Divide. Yes. Here we have 100 divided by 160. So it is like 10 over 16 or 5 over 4. You can write 5 over 4. Also you can convert to decimal, maybe 0.625. This is acceptable answer. You should write in simplest form. So one of these can be the answer of 33. 34. A local television station sells time slots for programs in 30-minute intervals if the station operates 24 hours per day. Every day of the week, what is the total number of 30 minutes time slots the station can sell for Tuesday and Wednesday? So, since it is in 2 days, it's gonna be how many hours? 48 hours, right? 48 hours. and we have to divide by 30 minutes, but you know, the units must be the same. 30 minutes, how many hours? It's like half hour, right? So 0.5. When you divide by 0.5, meaning you multiply by 2, it's 96 slots they can sell. 35. A dairy farmer uses a storage silo that is in the shape of the right circular cylinder above. If the volume of the silo is 72 pi cubic yards, what is the diameter of the base of the cylinder in yards? So, what is the volume formula? We might need to check the references, right? When you look at the references here, we can see the volume of the cylinder is pi times r square h. Pi times r square h. So now let's go back to the question. And pi times r square h. The volume is given 72 pi, right? 72 pi. I don't have pi, so I write p here. Is equal to pi r square h. H is 8 and pi is pi. Pi r square h. H is 8, right? And this must be a square here. Or let me write 8 first. Doesn't matter, right? It is multiplication. And this is square of, or let's say. So when we divide by 8 or pi, the other side, r square will be 9, right? 9. R square is gonna be 9. So r will be 3. Of course, not negative because the length. But the question is not r; it is the diameter. So it is 2r. 2r is the question. So 6 is the answer here. Question 35. Answer is 6. 36. For what value of x the function h above undefined? It is, I think, the simplest question can be, right? What value of x is undefined? When it is undefined, the denominator, when denominator is 0, it's going to be undefined. So we need to solve this quadratic equation, find out what values of x it's going to be undefined. Or when discriminant is less than 0, right? Less than 0. But here we have like x minus 5 squared plus 4x minus 5. We can take the squares and then, find the possible answer here. Maybe, or we can substitute, we can give like, we can say that x minus 5 is equal to a, then we will obtain a quadratic equation, and we can find where it is like undefined, and then we can find the possible value of x. I will use this way. I will say this is a, this is a and a, alright? So I have a square, a square, a square, so plus 4a and plus 4 we have now. And when this quadratic equation is undefined, it is like square of, or when, it's not about being undefined, it's about when it is equal to 0. When it's equal to 0, this is square of a plus 2, right? This is square of a plus 2. It's a perfect square because square of a plus 2 is equal to 0. Then a here will be negative 2. Negative 2. So when a is negative 2, we said a is x minus 5, right? So x minus 5 is negative 2. Then x will be 3. When x is equal to 3, this is gonna be undefined because when you substitute 3 for x, this quadratic expression will be equal to 0, then it's gonna be undefined. So the answer is 3. Last two questions refer to the following information. There's a function here again. What is the value of x in the expression? Jessica opened a bank account that earns 2% interest compounded annually. Her initial deposit was $100, and she uses the expression to find the value of the account after 2 years. So since it is like 2% each year, so x must be equal to each percent what? Interest. Compound interest is like increase, right? X must be 2%, which will be to make the increase must be 1.02, because each year it will increase 2%. To increase 2%, we multiply by 1.02 each year by the initial amount, right? $100 by 1.02. So it depends on the number of years, it will change. X must be 1.02 at the beginning. And the last question, Jessica's friend, Tyson, I don't know how to pronounce this name, found an account that earns 2.5% interest compounded annually and made an initial deposit of 100 into this account. At the same time, Jessica made a deposit of 100 into her account. After 10 years, how much more money will this guy initial deposit have earned that Jessica's initial deposit? So we need to round the answer to the nearest cent and ignore the dollar sign when reading your response, of course. So let's write here Jessica or Jess, and here that guy EYS. So for Jessica, she started with $100 and each year 1.02. How many years? For 10 years, right? For 10 years. And for Tyson, also started 100, but he found another account which gives 2.5% interest. So it's gonna be 1.025. Not that much, right? But let's see after 10 years what is the difference. So all we need to do, calculate is then subtract, right? To find the difference. And let's calculate, no problem. And here is 100 times first one times 100 times 1.02 to the power 10. It is like 121.9, approximately $121.9. And for the other one, it is 100 times 1.025 to the power 10 also. So it is 128. So we can directly use the calculator to do the subtraction, not round at the beginning. It's gonna be a more clear answer. Here I just write the rounded numbers, but in the test I suggest you to do the direct calculation, direct difference here. So when you subtract the other result from this one, it's gonna be approximately 6.11 when you round to the nearest cents, right? Cents like 2 decimal places. The difference will be, or let me write this way. Yes, the difference between them is gonna be close to this number when you round to the cents, 6.11. Okay, today we are done. Thanks for watching. See you next time.